Hey guys, it's Cobra DVS, and it's another collection video. This time we're doing three consoles: Atari 2600, the Coleco Vision, and the Intellivision. Now I have kind of a lot, so I should probably just get started. And I guess we'll start with the console I have the least amount of games for, and that's the Coleco Vision. These games are not in any sort of order. The first one is Qbert. I actually had to make this label. When I bought the game, it was all torn, so I just printed one off the internet and used tape to put it on. It looks pretty bad, but it looks better. I actually made my own end label, too. It's all on one piece of paper. It's kind of cool. And that's the next game, Frogger. They both, I got those both with the console. The next is a pretty rough version of Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, the label's peeling up. After that is my other copy of Donkey Kong Jr. in better shape. Still not great, but in better shape. And the next game I have three copies of. It's Donkey Kong. Now, they're basically all identical. All three of them are pretty much the same, except the one on the far left actually says for ColecoVision and Atom Computer. So I guess that'd be a later version of the game. Not really sure, but... Alright, next game is Space Panic. It's in pretty good shape. I don't have any overlays either, which is a downfall, but... next is Turbo, and I also do not have the steering wheel module. Wish I did, but I do not. After that is Mr. Do. This one's in pretty good shape. The next one's Mousetrap. Mousetrap's like a puzzle game, kind of a Pac-Man clone a little bit. I actually really enjoy that one. Next one actually was one of the reasons I got a ColecoVision, Ladybug. My grandma used to always talk about this game, and so I kind of got the ColecoVision, but then I got this game specifically for her, kind of. Although it is pretty good, and I do enjoy it. The next is actually a platformer, Smurf Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. I can't get into this game. It's just... I don't know. It just seems... It's kind of ridiculous. The next game is actually, of the games I have, probably my favorite ColecoVision game. And that's Pepper 2. It's kind of a Pac-Man clone as well. Different. Next is Looping. That's sort of a space shooter. After that is Carnival, the official Carnival, by Sega, oddly enough. That's kind of funny. And then we're down to my last three. The first one is War Games. Sorry about that again, guys. Yeah, anyway, based on the movie. Pretty good movie. Next is Time Pilot. That's it's a Konami game. It's pretty good. And then last, Cosmic Avenger. Now, I'm not going to show my consoles because I obviously have the console, and I don't collect consoles. I collect the games, not the consoles. So I just thought it'd be kind of dumb to show the console. But I do have this. I'll show this. This is the ColecoVision Module 1. It allows you to play Atari 2600 games on the ColecoVision. You just plug it in and you're ready to go. Okay, now for the Atari 2600. These are all loose cartridges. The first one is Telegames, Pong, hockey, soccer, all that. Next is E.T., the extraterrestrial. One thing about the Atari is I never really collected for it. I don't know. It's just because I don't know what games are good and what games aren't. Next is basic programming. I wish I had the special controllers for this because you do need them. But oh well. I'm going to stack these games and hopefully they don't fall. Next is a Space Jockey. I actually got this one because I had a funny cartridge. Next is a good one. Centipede. That's a fun one. After that is Star Raiders. That's also a pretty fun one. Okay, after that is Asteroids. Everybody knows Asteroids. That's a good one. Then last, not last, but Next is Combat. Everybody has Combat, I think. If you have an Atari 2600 and you do not have Combat, it is very strange. Next is Atlantis. It's one of the Magic games. It's a pretty fun game. Sword Quest Earthworld. Now, there were 3 Sword Quest games. Now, Waterworld is really rare, and wish I had that one, but I don't. Warlords. This is an okay game. It's kind of like Breakout a little bit, but like different. Here's my second copy of Combat. Next is Crystal Castles. Now, I don't know if people like this game or not, but I just could not get into it. It's sort of a Pac-Man clone, but it doesn't have very good controls. If that, I don't, how could they screw that up? I don't know. They did though. Next is Barnstorming. That's a pretty decent game. I guess you're just dodging stuff. Alright, I have to move the thing. Alright. Next is Berserk. That's a fun one. Everybody loves Berserk. After that is basketball. I really don't even play basketball. In fact, I hardly play my Atari much. Wish I played it more, but I just get bored with some of the games. Next is Wizard of War. This one is actually a mystery cartridge. It's some sort of space shooter, but I could never really distinguish which one it is. Also, next is a mystery cart. This is also a space shooter. It's kind of like Astro Smash, I believe. I think it might be called Astro Blast. I'm not really sure. Next is one of my favorites, Lock and Chase. Love Lock and Chase. And this is also one of my favorites, Frogs and Flies. Okay, guys, actually, that is it for my Atari 2600 games, except for this book. It's like an Atari book, except it's where you store games. And I have my favorites in here: Missile Command, Miss Pac-Man, Kaboom, and Freeway. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it only holds 4 games, but that's not a huge deal. Okay, that is it for the Atari 2600 games. I do have one accessory, and it's kind of new. It's the Atari trackball controller. I haven't used this yet, but I'm going to have to do it sometime, and while I have my Atari stuff out, I might as well do it today. Alright, next is for my Atari 800 XL computer. I only have 2 games for this. It's Pac-Man and Star Raiders. So, that's all I have for that. And last and certainly not least is the Intellivision. This one I actually have a bunch of boxed games for. So I'll go through my loose carts first, and then move into the box games. Alright, get the Atari games out of the way. Alright. These are in no order either. First up is Snafu. It's basically Surround, but it's really fun. Next is Intellivision Dude's favorite, Burger Time. It is a very fun game. Unfortunately, I am awful at it. Next, I have these 2 rubber band together because I have the overlays. The top one is Tron Deadly Discs, and the other one, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I have the overlays for both. Tron's pretty fun. I couldn't really get into double Dungeons and Dragons, though. Astro Smash is next. This label is all messed up, kind of. It's just sort of old looking. When I first got it, it did not work. But I took it apart and cleaned the insides, and now it does work, and I'm glad it does, because it's a pretty fun game. Unfortunately, Buzz Bombers does not work. And also, Lock and Chase does not work. I can accept this because I have another copy, but I kind of want to play Buzz Bombers. Lock and Chase will go to the main screen, but then it just goes back to like some green color. Alright, next are my loose games that are sort of a little bit more valuable. First is Mind Strike. That's an ECS game, one Intellivision Dude we did a trade for, I believe. Next is Chip Shot Super Pro Golf. I played this the other day, and it's a pretty good golf game. Kind of ahead of its time, really. And then last and certainly not least is Diner. This is from Intellivision Dude's Contest. It's the Burger Time sequel. I think I might like Burger Time better, but Diner is still pretty fun. I feel like Diner's a little bit tougher. Alright, now for the boxed Intellivision games. I kind of I have kind of a lot of these, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. First is Armor Battle. This one's boxed and complete. Next is B-17 Bomber. This one is boxed and complete as well. Some of these have a little damage. It looks like maybe they got wet, but they do work. So these are all alphabetical too. Next is Bomb Squad. This one's also boxed and complete. Those one cool thing, this one has damage around here. Looks like it got wet. But one cool thing about the Intellivision is that the boxes are color coded depending on the genre. Like all the white ones there were ones that use the IntelliVoice. The red ones are like action games. And they have these ones. This one's boxing, and it's blue because it's a sports game. This one is also boxed and complete. This one's a little worn out on the front. Next is Horse Racing. Is that out of order? Huh. I guess it isn't. Anyways, Horse Racing. This one's boxed. Is it complete? No. Just has the overlays. But this one's in decent shape. Little damage on the bottom. I bought most of these games in a lot from a lady on Craigslist, and I got a steal on them, so I don't complain really with the condition. The next one is Biggest Poker and Blackjack. This one is just the cartridge, no manuals or overlay. Next is Major League Baseball. This one is boxed and complete. One thing I like about the Intellivision is they got the actual league sponsorship or league name for these. I think that was kind of cool. Next is the Electric Company Math Fun. This one is boxed and complete. I only have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to have to hurry up, and I just dropped one. Next one is NBA Basketball. This one's slightly damaged, but it's boxed with the overlays, no manual. After that, NFL Football. This one is boxed and complete. Well, okay, next is NHL Hockey. This one is boxed, and that is not the manual. I don't even have overlays for this one. That's just a little catalog kind of thing. After that is Sea Battle. This box has seen better days. It's in pretty rough shape. But this one is boxed, and it doesn't look like I have the overlays. Alright, next is Sharp Shot. This is like a 3-in-1 game, boxed with overlays. Next is Space Armada, and the game just fell out. Space Armada, this one's boxed and complete. This is basically Space Invaders. And after that is Space Battle, complete. Next is Space Spartans, complete. After that is Tron Solar Sailor, complete. That means I have all the white box games complete in box. And with this game, it means I have every single World Series, Major League Baseball. This is an ECS game, uses the keyboard, and it's also a voice game, which makes it kind of rare. And that means I have every voice game that they made for it. I also have the IntelliVoice, obviously. And try and squeeze this in. Also have the ECS module. It's just a keyboard, and it, I don't really know what its main focus was. But it's pretty cool. Okay, guys, sorry I had to rush, but as you can see, I'm really close to the 15-minute mark. So, thanks for watching, and I'm going to do more videos coming up, more collection videos, that is. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's Cobra DVS, and it's another collection video. This time we're doing 3 consoles: Atari 2600, the Coleco Vision, and the Intellivision. Now, I have kind of a lot, so I should probably just get started. And I guess we'll start with the console I have the least amount of games for, and that's the Coleco Vision. These games are not in any sort of order. The first one is Q*bert. I actually had to make this label. When I bought the game, it was all torn, so I just printed one off the internet and used tape to put it on. It looks pretty bad, but it looks better. I actually made my own end label, too. It's all on one piece of paper. It's kind of cool. And that's the next game, Frogger. They both, I got those both with the console. The next is a pretty rough version of Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, the label's peeling up. After that is my other copy of Donkey Kong Jr. in better shape. Still not great, but in better shape. And the next game I have 3 copies of. It's Donkey Kong. Now, they're basically all identical. All 3 of them are pretty much the same, except the one on the far left actually says for ColecoVision and Atom Computer. So I guess that'd be a later version of the game. Not really sure, but... Alright, next game is Space Panic. It's in pretty good shape. I don't have any overlays either, which is a downfall, but next is Turbo, and I also do not have the steering